It's World Tourism Day, and in today's show, the booming tourism sector takes the spotlight. I'm Theodore Henry, and I'll be your guide through the pages of the magazine. In the show today, Jamaica prepares to host one of the world's biggest tourism conferences. All that and so much more after this message.
There are two things that unifies all Jamaicans and for which we're all passionate: our music and sports. We have some of the world's most talented musicians and athletes. For sports and entertainment, Jamaica should be and must become the center of the Caribbean. We must become the party destination where there are always live musical events, parties, and festivals. Our annual events calendar must offer something for everyone. Our sportsmen and women have all brought the spotlight on the island, and there must be significant investment by both private and public sector towards the development of sports facilities all across the island, where we can continue to show our dominance in the various sporting arenas, and by doing so, attract the interest of teams and athletes from all across the world to come to Jamaica for training camps and international meets and games.
Good day, I'm Carrie-Ann Smith and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, September 27. Government has pledged the Jamaican equivalent of $100,000 each to the redevelopment funds for Dominica and Antigua and Barbuda. The countries were severely impacted by the passage of Hurricanes Irma and Maria. In making the commitment, Prime Minister Andrew Holness also announced that the Jamaica Defense Forces Disaster Assistance Response Team DART has been deployed to help recover efforts in Dominica. He says the 120-member team has been deployed in 3 phases, which started Tuesday and will continue on Wednesday.
This team will be assisting Dominica with security and distribution of relief supplies, the provision of limited medical care, basic engineering work with light tools and equipment, inclusive of debris removal and construction of improvised shelter, logistics management, conducting damage assessment, and recovery planning.
The Prime Minister was speaking in Parliament on Tuesday. Mr. Holness also announced that Colonel Jamie Ogilvie of the JDF will lead a 4-man technical and advisory support team to Dominica. The team will help to restore the integrity of Dominica's national security systems, as well as develop a recovery and rebuilding plan.
Jamaica has always leaned forward to help our neighbors in need, and alongside the OPM, the JDF has always delivered this capability on behalf of the people and government of Jamaica.
In the meantime, Prime Minister Andrew Holness is reiterating his call for the inclusion of disaster resilience, recovery and adaptation systems in the region's tourism industry. Citing tourism as one of the few sectors in which the Caribbean has competitive and comparative advantage, Mr. Holness says the region should do more to make it sustainable. And the Prime Minister says his administration remains committed to environmental protection through sustainable growth and development.
Jamaica also is taking a holistic approach to plan development, recognizing the connections and the need to fix where necessary, whether infrastructure, safety and security, legislation. And yes, we recognize the need to bring our energy costs down and to continually improve our human resources, and seeking to optimize for success as a leading and internationally competitive destination.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness was speaking at Monday's opening of AM Resort's latest hotel development, Breathless Resort and Spa in Montego Bay, St. James.
You now have 6 hotels in total, approximating almost 1,500 rooms, representing an investment of over $300 million US. This is a true sign of confidence in Jamaica.
The acquisition of Alpart by Jikwan Iron and Steel Company JISCO has been finalized. The deal was sealed with the signing of 3 agreements between JISCO and Transport and Mining Minister Mike Henry during his recent visit to China. The document signed includes the establishment, fiscal regime and agency, and land use agreements. The agreements between the government of Jamaica and JISCO outline the conditions of ownership, operation and build-out of the Alpart Alumina Works at Nain, St. Elizabeth. In a release, Minister Henry said the signing formally unlocks the inflow of an additional $1 billion US in investment and the creation of another 800 direct and high-paying jobs. The Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries has secured markets in China for the export of Jamaican aquatic products. The undertaking was formalized on Friday with the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding with Portfolio Minister Carl Samuda and the People's Republic of China. Under the MOU, the 2 countries will promote the export of lobsters, conch and other aquatic products. Minister Samuda said the next step is the establishment of conditions for the export of the fisheries product into China in accordance with international regulations.
This may include a risk assessment if necessary. All matters relating to the monitoring, inspection and quarantine regulations will be agreed to by the parties. Related products can be exported to China after completion of the requisite enterprise filing regulations and meeting other requirements.
And finally, as the country observes World Tourism Day, Portfolio Minister Edmund Bartlett is in Doha, Qatar, promoting Jamaica's tourism sector. The visit also supports Jamaica's hosting of the United Nations World Tourism Organization UNWTO conference in November. During his visit, Minister Bartlett will present at a think tank, the official event marking World Tourism Day, focusing on tourism as a means for enhancing cultural preservation and mutual understanding. The tourism minister will also meet with Qatar's Prime Minister. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Carrie-Ann Smith. Thanks for watching.
Did you know that in a recent survey done by the OCA in schools across Jamaica, 43% of the students received inappropriate messages from strangers? The OCA wants you to be smart online. Never speak to persons you don't know. Parents, encourage your children to be social but be smart.
This message was brought to you by the Office of the Children's Advocate with support from UNICEF.
For years, Jamaica has been talking about becoming the place of choice for meetings and conventions and other events. We have seen the construction of the International Seabed Authority building in downtown Kingston, the Montego Bay Convention Center, and meeting rooms established by a number of hotels. But we have not fully capitalized on the vast potential of the meetings and conventions market after having all of those assets. We have to put our thinking caps on, so to speak effectively and addressing the issues. To this end, the Knowledge Network will do the following. It will develop a central information repository and online tourism knowledge portal. Ease of information in this day and age is a given. People need to know where it is and it needs to be at their fingertips. We need to conduct a convention center review. Once again, asking everyone, do we have the facilities? What are the gaps and how well are we doing? We need to know where we are before we start moving forward. Develop an edutourism map, package, and market best practices document. And we need to host a major international forum to explain after all of that to the global markets just what Jamaica's capabilities are.
In November, leaders and innovators in tourism from all over the world will gather in Jamaica for the United Nations World Tourism Organization Conference to discuss major plans for the sector. Find out more about this industry-changing event next.
157 countries will be represented, with scores of overseas participants. Government leaders, planners, policymakers, developers, and investors will converge. Where? On the second city for what is expected to be Jamaica's biggest yet tourism conference. The name of the conference is a mouthful. The UN World Tourism Organization, Government of Jamaica and World Bank Group, Global Conference and Partnerships for Jobs and Inclusive Growth through Sustainable Tourism. But it's important to remember this November 27 to 29 meeting because of what it represents. The conference is being held in commemoration of the UNWTO's International Year of Sustainable Tourism for Development. A historic occasion, as it marks the first time that the UNWTO will stage a global conference on tourism in the Caribbean or the Americas.
The single most important international event that we are ever going to do for tourism. It perhaps could very well be also the single most important event that we have done for Jamaica.
The event is shaping up to go way beyond the limits of a technical conference, but will be transactional and business-oriented. Participants will be engaged in plenary sessions and workshops on a range of subject matters. Some of the themes to be explored include economic development, financial management, job creation, and human capital development. The inclusion of the World Bank as a partner is expected to be a game changer, particularly in terms of how the conference is positioned. The World Bank provides a grand opportunity for international funders of tourism to meet with ministers, as well as private and public sector entities that have development projects and are able to access funding through these entities. So Jamaica will be the destination where several of these major sustainable tourism development transactions will take place. International development firm Caenwood International is also a partner in hosting the conference. With Caenwood on board, participants will have an opportunity to discuss and develop sound environmental solutions for tourism industry operators. Two of the expected deliverables from this conference will be an outcome declaration and the publication of the second UNWTO Affiliate Members Global Report on Public-Private Partnerships. Coming out of the conference, the UNWTO will also present a report to the UN General Assembly in 2018 with regards to the activities of the International Year of Sustainable Tourism for Development, of which the conference will play a major role. At the UNWTO, there have been much talk on the need for public-private partnerships. Still, there has been a failure to translate that on the ground in any effective manner. The conference will kickstart discussions for the creation of on-the-ground activities to develop tourism across the globe through partnerships. This is of significant importance to developing states such as Jamaica, who rely heavily on the economic power of tourism. Of deeper significance for Jamaica, especially the people of the West, is the creation of a Montego Bay Declaration. The declaration will be used as a roadmap to strengthen public-private partnerships and enhance donor funding and investor engagement. This will create the framework for more responsible, sustainable, and universally accessible tourism in the second city. The declaration will also address tourism leakages that are crippling the industry. So the established Tourism Linkages Network is expected to play a greater role to combat the issue and allow the Jamaican people to benefit more from the sector. The conference is attracting many leaders from government, multilateral organizations, international financial agencies, non-governmental organizations, cruise lines, other tourism entities, and of course, Jamaican businesses such as small and medium tourism enterprises. Since the agreement was brokered in January for Jamaica to host the event, Minister Bartlett has been on a whirlwind promotional tour to garner support and attendance at the conference. In Africa, he was able to secure Ethiopian Airlines as the official carrier to take the continent's dignitaries to the conference. The industry's largest intelligence portal, which provides media, insights, and marketing data to thousands of tourism players, Skift.com, is also expected to be reporting from the conference, as Mr. Bartlett met with the agency's president, Caroline Cremins. He has also gone to Germany, Thailand, Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, and the United States of America. Jamaica stands ready to benefit from billions of dollars worth of free advertising by hosting this conference. The Multi-Sectoral Planning Committee is fired up to put on a wonderful conference to show the world why the land of wood and water is the cultural superstate.
It's also a first in the world for the United Nations World Tourism Organization, because it is the first time in any location that all the elements of tourism are going to converge to discuss sustainability issues, to discuss its future, and to celebrate on matters that will inure to the future development of world tourism.
Jamaica comes alive for Jamaica 55. The Jamaica Information Service is inviting primary, secondary, and tertiary students to catch the vibes and join in the celebration by participating in this year's staging of the JIS Heritage Competition. Primary and prep school children, ages 9 to 12, enter the essay competition and tell us how you would want to see Jamaica in 55 years. High schoolers, enter the poster competition. Show us your artistic interpretations of Jamaica throughout her 55 years in a poster titled Jamaica 55. Posters may be designed digitally or illustrated. Zoom, click, snap. Yes, tertiary students, the photo competition is back. Capture an image that best represents Jamaica 55. For more information on the competition rules and how to submit entries, visit the JIS website at www.jis.gov.jm. You may also send an email to heritageessay@jis.gov.jm, heritageposter@jis.gov.jm, or heritagephoto@jis.gov.jm, or call us at 926-3590-4. The deadline for all entries is October 31, 2017. So ready, set, go for prizes galore. JIS Heritage Competition 2017, celebrating Jamaica 55.
Gastronomy has the potential to create niche travel and offers both domestic and international visitors the opportunity to sample the varied cuisine that our island offers. From a road food experience to gourmet 5-star Jamaican dining. Our chefs, both trained and untrained, are among the best and the most creative in the region, and we should capitalize on this as there are so many unique experiences that can be created. The economic link between gastronomy and tourism will create more demand for local agricultural produce, especially those exotic food items not readily seen in most of our hotels.
The island's recently designated gastronomy center, Devon House, has an expanded ice cream parlor. Discover the improved experience next.
Rum and raisin ice cream, one of the many Devon House ice cream flavors. The tasty treat is rated among the best in the world, and its ratings go up a notch when it's bought at the Hope Road spot. But there was one hiccup: the waiting time.
Definitely a good idea. It was congested, especially on a Sunday evening, but now we get through a lot more quickly, and it's less crowded, less congested. We got through in 3 minutes. At the other side, it took a longer time to be served. So it was definitely a good idea. I like it.
For some Jamaicans, a Sunday afternoon trip to Devon House for ice cream is the ultimate treat. If you haven't been treated lately, Upon your next visit, you may probably scream in excitement. Not because you're about to indulge in your favorite flavor, but because the shop has been expanded, minimizing the time it will take to get the creamy delight into your hands. The bigger and newer parlor opened recently on the North Lawns, moving from its spot in the courtyard. The space, which now houses the 5,000 square feet facility, was created to address growing complaints about the wait time to purchase ice cream, especially on weekends and public holidays. The relocation project received $28 million from the Tourism Enhancement Fund.
The store that we were in before was a quarter of the size of the one that we are in now. We had long lines on a Saturday night and a Sunday night. So in order to make our customers be satisfied and comfortable, this shop was built, which is like 3 times the size of the old shop. When the shop was just opened, we were all excited, and we still are excited about this new shop. It has brought a different dimension to our whole business. We are able to accommodate more people. We used to have 4 dipping cabinets in the other shop. Now we have 7. So we can accommodate and serve people in a more efficient and faster manner. On a Sunday, which is our busiest day, I think that we have in excess of 1,200 people on a Sunday alone. And on a Saturday, which is the next busiest day, we probably have about 1,000 people. It was not easy in the beginning, but we eventually got the hang of it, and I think people are really satisfied with where we're at now. It's 3 times the amount of staff in this new shop. We have a nice big veranda.
On any given day, particularly on the weekend, there are groups of tourists traveling from the north and west coasts for the treat.
We're headed back to Montego Bay.
The dessert's popularity is no secret. Its name has gone abroad, written and told about over and over again. Each scoop helps to bring in well-needed foreign exchange.
This is delicious ice cream. This is a rum, raisin, and then coconut on top. It's a very rich and creamy ice cream. Quite good.
Chocolate is my favourite. Never heard of Devon Stout before. This is my second time to Jamaica, so I thought, why not? Flavours, sugar, and there's a malty taste, which I'm assuming is from the Devon Stout.
I'm having cheesecake. Tastes very nice.
We make in all probably 30 flavours, but we don't have all 30 at one time. Depending on the season, we have maybe 20 to 25 flavours.
The expansion of the iconic ice cream parlor is part of efforts to boast the Devon House as the epicenter of gastronomy in Kingston and to enable the historic location to be financially sustainable.
It's always a nice treat. The setting is nice, the ice cream is superb. Here with family, my mother and friends, we're all here enjoying the afternoon. It's great because you have more space, because the other one, there was a queue that used to zigzag outside. At least if it rains here, we're inside, and it has a nice colonial feel.
Frustration has melted away as long waiting time no longer separates man or woman from getting their Devon House ice cream that brings out the smile not only in a child but adults too.
Most of us grew up with our parents and grandparents who provided home remedies for most of our illnesses and just also for general well-being. Most of these herbs and plants, for example Saracen fever grass, now we call it fancy name lemongrass, are being used as core ingredients for spa and beauty products and also packaged for teas. We already have a few world-class health and wellness facilities along with numerous medical and health fitness practitioners. We have excellent yogis on the island and should become the yoga destination of the Caribbean. There is vast potential for further growth in health and wellness. Just by visiting some of our unspoiled spots around the island is therapeutic and rejuvenating to the soul.
One way to keep visitors coming back to our lovely country is to take care of our island home. Keep it clean by properly disposing of garbage. Some things you don't even need to throw away. They can be recycled or reused. Conserve water by fixing leaks as well as reusing this precious commodity. Also, save energy by switching off appliances when there is no need for them. By doing these simple things, you can limit the harmful effects on the environment and make Jamaica the location people revisit because it's on track in becoming the place of choice the place of choice, period.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica. Original.
The single most popular pastime of any traveler is seeking out that unique and special item as a personal memento or as a gift for a family or friend when he or she returns home. Tremendous potential exists in this area, but the surface has not even been scratched. The shopping network has been the responsibility of changing all of that.
This is where we close another chapter of Jamaica Magazine, but our story continues online. Visit our YouTube page or our website to watch other episodes of the show. We always value your feedback, so send us an email or drop us a message on our Facebook page. On behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Theodore Henry. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information